on the reg.
Snowboarding took a toll on the body. We haven't lifting around. Oh, we haven't recovered.
Could you go snowboarding like every other week?
Dude. Look at that shit. It's so bad. But the body takes a hit.
Hey, what's up?
What's up, man? How are you?
Hey, what's up? Good, how are you?
I'm Felipe.
Felipe? Alright. I'm Kerry.
Gary?
Yep. You're...
Osis Koenig.
There's only one Felipe out there.
We got a Philippe and a
Pronounce
Felipe.
it Coney or Koenig?
Osis Koenig.
Koenig.
Yeah, you got it.
Alright, cool.
You got it. Osis Koenig. Did you guys play the last
Felipe.
Yep.
Although that doesn't matter because we go last names anyway.
I'm not kidding. We were just talking.
Yeah.
I'm not exaggerating. Probably missed 30 the both of us. I'm just
This game is
Everyone has their own way. Whatever works safely.
This one doesn't have the arm.
No, it does, but it's they have it jammed in there. Lay that out the way you want. You don't think yeah, if you have a chance, are these pockets open? Close. Oh, now open them, and actually, when you can, on longer points, put your hand in there, and sometimes switch it. I'll just keep my hand on this and then switch it, and then I trade. I try to trade off. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Who are we missing? Chris? Do we know what's going on with Chris?
I'll take one. Thanks, dude.
I'll take one as well. Thanks, sir. You just leave it out there. Yeah. One of us, somebody will take it.
I like the fact that it's 3 and not 4.
Yes.
I feel like anytime it's 4
Just
small
small
LED,
It's
Too bright.
but it's always like once you get to like that point, you're like,
We're pushing it.
Yeah.
Little grip redo apparently on Chris here.
Oh, is that what he
there,
was
get
Yeah.
the idea if it's 4 or 5-3 over there.
What do we know? Do we know anything about what's going on over there?
One and
Juan won the first set tiebreak 7-4, something like that, and then it was 4-3. It's
Yeah.
Juan.
yeah,
I don't know where
but
it is now.
it should be either 5-3 or
4-4 all.
So much different.
30-40.
Add out for Drew.
All right, Chris.
Felipe,
Do I
you
need
play
to
the
go find you?
adages
Outside.
outside? Okay.
Apparently they just decided to make the quarter reprise finals tomorrow instead of tonight.
Oh.
Here he comes.
Really?
Oh, wow.
Oh.
They're only waiting.
Because after these guys, they'll have to play a semi and a quarter reprise semi.
Oh, yeah.
So they move the finals to match up with the actual main draw final.
Martin, you play outside?
All right. I need a picture.
Pictures.
What do you want us?
How many balls you got?
3.
3. I need one more.
Dude. That's it?
I have one. Final ball.
Okay. Semifinals, guys. Play well.
Thank you.
luck, guys.
Have a good match.
Amazing match point. What athleticism.
And there you have it, your APTA National Champions.
Best match of the year.
Brilliant shot.
Incredible stuff. And it's sitting up and he's right there.
Hello and welcome to the APTA Tour. We're live from the Manufacturers Golf and Country Club, bringing you the Philly Open Men's and Women's NRT, a 22-23 APTA Tour event, which is the 11th stop on the APTA Tour, presented by Remedy Plus and sponsored by the APTA membership. The APTA national sponsors Paddle Pro Infusion and local sponsors Xenox and Mapped Organization. I'm Mark Fischel, along with Anthony Casamano, bringing you the semifinal match between the teams of Rams and Bostrom, Humphreys and Ossex Koenig. Anthony, welcome to the booth.
How are you, Mark? I had the pleasure of doing some commentary for the Bostrom Rams match before, and I'm really excited about this one. So let's take a look at the draw real quick, and we'll see how they got here. So we have Humphreys, Ossex Koenig came through with some, played their first round against some gentlemen from the Pittsburgh area. Then played good training buddies of Dennis and Friedrich in the next round in the quarterfinals. Good match. And here we are against Bostrom Rams in the semis on the other side of the draw. Bostrom and Rams played Coutinho and Rodriguez, and then the match that I commentated for was Granger and Lambropoulos. Really good match there as well. So what do you think about this one, Mark?
Well, these teams played in Boston, a match won by Humphreys, Ossex Koenig in 3 sets, good competitive match. This is the third time we've seen Bostrom and Rams play together this year. They're a fun, dynamic team. They won the tournament at the Philly Cricket Club earlier in the year. Lost to Humphreys, Ossex Koenig in Boston, and they're kind of finding their way. I mean, they're a very dangerous team and a team that I think you have to put in the mix as a team that could make some serious noise at nationals.
Yeah, for sure. And yes, like you said, this is only their third tournament together. But the match I watched in the quarterfinals, they played fantastically. They have great overheads and they're controlling the court really well. They didn't give Lambropoulos much to hit at all, and he likes to hit a lot from that corner. So it'll be interesting to see if their really effective overheads will have as much of an impact against Humphreys and Ossex Koenig.
Okay, so why don't we introduce our players? Some beautiful views of the Manufacturers Club. So on the bottom right, Martin Bostrom without the hat, his partner Philippe Rams with the white hat. On the far side in the green sweatshirt, Chris Humphreys, and then his partner in the hoodie, Ossex Koenig, Philippe Ossex Koenig. So yeah, let's talk about these guys. Anthony, Philippe Rams normally plays with Mike Wagner. They've made quarters of nationals, really good team. Rams is obviously the alpha in that squad. Here playing with Bostrom, there's a little bit of a transition. When they played in Philly, Bostrom played the ad, Rams played the deuce. They warmed up the other way here tonight. So it's going to be interesting to see how they kind of find their way through the different skill sets that they have.
Yeah, I think they were still finding that a little bit in the quarterfinals as well, Mark, because I won't go so far as to say there was confusion on the overheads, but they're both going for the overheads. Their first inclination is to, take control of the net. So they left some openings that I don't think Granger and Lambropoulos were able to take advantage of, but I think that might change in this match as well. So I think they still have to work out some of that because they do both gravitate towards the alphas, as you said.
So it'll be interesting
Let's
to see how they make
introduce
that adjustment.
Yeah, let's introduce the court umpire as well. Court umpire is Carrie Karabasi. And this will be a regular scoring, best of 3 sets, tiebreaker in all sets.
Humphreys, Ossick, Koenig have to be very happy that Durant Mitchell aren't playing. They've lost to him 4 consecutive times so far this season.
I know. Patty and I were talking a little bit about that there's a handful of teams that keep running into each other, and yeah, it's going to be an interesting trek, especially leading up to the Nationals, to see which 3. We know there's 2, 3, 4, 5 men's teams that can compete and that can be in that semifinals and finals, but certainly not running into Durant and Mitchell is probably your biggest obstacle you want to avoid early on.
So Araya and West beat Broderick and Christian in a 3-set epic that I think took 4 hours and 27 minutes. That was after Broderick's 3.5-hour first set in the second match. So that match is going to, I know when we're playing the quarterback draw, but that'll be awfully late tonight. Looks like we're waiting for Chris Humphreys to get out there.
Is it like this when you guys go skiing also?
No. He's pumped about grounding.
Yeah.
I'm usually the slow one. Right. Dude, we get there like at
So Raya West are through to play against Spurish or Doya.
We're missing.
Exactly. Exactly. I'm like, goddamn. Not the end of the world.
Araya West were a last-minute pickup team. Araya was scheduled to play with Graham McNerney, and Graham had some tendonitis issues and had to bail out. And Juan had to make a couple of phone calls. Anthony, if he called you, would you have played?
I would. Well, I'm 7 weeks into an 8-week recovery of a popped calf muscle, but I probably would have still played anyway if I got that call.
That's a tough call to turn down, huh?
It is.
Okay, looks like they're getting ready to get started. Looks like Bostrom's going to be playing the deuce, where I think he's much more effective with that backhand from the middle of the court. And Chris Humphreys, the lefty, will almost certainly be one serving. Ossick Koenig serves sidearm, and his serve tends to be a bit of a liability. Humphreys got an excellent serve, especially the deuce side, as you would expect from a lefty. Okay, here we go. And there's that heavy ball Bostrom hits off of both wings.
I was just about to say Philip was hitting that return of serve last match like a rocket, and I was not sure that Bostrom would start the match that aggressively, but he's got it there too.
Tino.
That's smart serve by Humphreys going down the tee.
Made an amazing adjustment after only one serve to Martin.
Ossick Koenig makes the volley, then apologizes. And Ossick Koenig is really the engine that makes this team go. Humphreys tends to be the same player each time out. Ossick Koenig does a lot of blitzing, a lot of moving around, and Humphreys kind of fills in behind him.
He does. You're absolutely right. But he also lends a lot of stability to the team. I was courtside in Short Hills, and Osis Koenig was struggling a little bit in one of the matches, and I was amazed by how supportive Humphreys was, and he just kept the positivity level up and got him back on track. So he plays more of a supporting role in the physical aspect, but he was a rock in Short Hills.
No question, he's the north of the compass for this team. Osis Koenig may be the engine, but Humphreys is definitely kind of the captain.
Yeah, that's a good analogy.
And Humphreys is interesting. He plays like a right-hander, but he really prefers the backhand. He'll hit the forehand, the high ball, but he really likes his backhand better.
Like a lot of us lefties do, we look for that backhand.
Yeah.
It comes in nice. The angle's nice on that side.
And for all their offense, Humphreys Osis Koenig will really grind with you. Very patient team. Happy to hit a bunch of lobs. There's that great blitz from Osis Koenig we talked about.
Yep. I got it.
Casual flip there by Bostrom and that very deep volley.
Love 30.
Great drop shot.
A lot of misses early for Bostrom.
He started exactly this way, Mark, in the quarterfinal match.
15-40.
It was only 1 or 2 games that he needed to get warmed up. But you're right, he's missing early here.
That's a tough volley to make while you're bailing out.
Osis Koenig. Humphreys leads the first set 2-0.
Funny, there you saw Bostrom going to the backhand side to return. That's what you reminded me of Rams.
That's where he played last match.
15 love.
It's going to take them a few games, I think, to get acclimated.
No!
Well, first set may be over by that time.
I know, it's too level, right? Well, I'll be interested to see if they keep this setup hitting the if they're just going to hit the overheads wherever they land on the court as a righty, right? You can play either side. Last match, Bostrom played mostly, hitting overheads mostly from that ad court very, very effectively.
I think they're going to be hitting as many balls as possible down the middle of the court. Both Humphreys and Osis Koenig like that forehand. The question is, how patiently can Bostrom Rams play?
30-15. $40-15.
That's Rams' game. He's a terrific blitzer. Movement is really good.
Game. Humphreys Osis Koenig.
A lot of sloppy errors.
Humphreys Osis Koenig leads the first set 3-0.
That is a dream start for Humphreys Osis Koenig.
It is. They're going to like playing with a lead here. And I think Bostrom and Rams are reconsidering if they really want to be playing the sides that they're on.
If they're going to continue to make this many errors, it doesn't matter where they stand on the court.
Right.
So 3 or 4 lob misses. That's probably more than you miss in a whole tournament, Anthony.
Yeah, right. Yeah, they just don't look quite comfortable yet.
That's Philippe Rams to serve.
Yeah. 15 love. all.
Rams has been hitting that serve really well, getting it to the side screen, and then it's just dying off. Last match, very few return of serve drives were coming out of that bad court. We'll see if Osas Koenig can get some good looks at those.
Yeah, Humphreys, Osas Koenig are one of the few top teams where it's not, you know, return to serve is not one of their huge weapons. They both can drive return to serve, but it's not where a lot of their offense comes from. Big shout out to all the Bostroms watching. Flor Hannes, his daughter Sophia, his parents back in Stockholm. Such a smart play by Humphreys. Off the net, doesn't try and make the volley. Just goes back and waits for the next ball. Now there, Rams catches the nick. That's all you have to do to win a point.
That's right. And even though it was a nick, it still didn't come out all out that far. Not enough for Humphreys to jump on it.
Rams has got such a beautiful game. He's so fluid. Everything about his game is just so natural looking.
He is, and he's at his best when he is just floating around the court. Very, you know, I'll say Juan Araya-esque. He definitely likes to creep in a little bit, show his presence on the volley, be really creative.
Game, Bostrom Rams.
That's his happy zone.
Humphreys Osas Koenig lead 3-1.
But doesn't have any of the whiny characteristics of Araya. Another miss there for Bostrom. Yeah, I can say that.
Love.
Again, a missed return to serve off an easy ball and a missed lob.
Serve is just wide, right?
35.
So Anthony, you mentioned that Bostrom Rams played the other way in the quarters. Any guesses as to why they switched it up?
I don't know. I'm still trying to figure that out. Rams was hitting his forehand and returned so well from that deuce court. The only thing I can think of at this moment is giving Martin.
Maybe that's something to do with Humphreys. Looks. Maybe something to do with Humphreys' serve. The fact that he's a lefty, and Bostrom's going to deal with the spin better. Some great lobbing from Humphreys Osas Koenig to keep driving him behind the service box.
That was one of the only things I noticed in the last match, like I said earlier, is that they are susceptible to the good lob right now. They're both taking a step back for those overheads, and it's creating a little bit of space for some offense to come in there.
Good hard roller.
40-15.
Humphries catches the nick.
You got it.
Yo.
Watch.
Good. 8.
Bostrom's been looking for that hard over the side wire a couple times. Been like one step behind it.
Good. You go. Yeah, sorry. Yo. Yo.
We saw Bostrom blitzing there, and that's not normally his strength.
Yo.
No, but Rams can give him some good looks, especially the way they're lobbing. They're backing these guys off of the net, so not a bad idea to look for. Just missed wide.
Game, Humphries, Osis Koenig. Humphries, Osis Koenig lead the first set, 4-1.
For over 20 years, Paddle Pro has been recognized as an industry leader in platform tennis. The knowledge, expert advice, vast inventory, and ultimate customer service will help any player find the perfect equipment to take your game to the next level. Paddle Pro is the only website to carry all platform tennis brands. For more information, go to paddlepro.com.
You know, it's interesting, Anthony. I watched a tennis match the other day with Daniel Medvedev, and he just doesn't try and win points. He tries not to lose points, kind of the Drew Broderick approach to platform. And Humphries, Osis, Koenig are just, they're always willing to grind, always willing to play those long points. And I'm just not sure I've seen that yet from Bostrom Rams.
Exactly. And even with Osis Koenig's aggressive look at offense, he's still hitting the high percentage shots, right? So when we say grind, he's taking three-quarter drives. He's always looking for that opportunity to hit it, so he's keeping them on their toes. But they're not missing right now, so we'll see if Bostrom and Rams can be patient enough to wait that out or change the strategy a little bit.
You hear Bostrom calling out every single lob. And that's the other thing about Osis Koenig. He hits such a flat ball right on the net. He gets a lot of lead cords.
He does. He strikes it. He strikes it best when it's just that little bit above the net, and he's coming down on it with that flat swing. And that's a heavy ball. It's a heavy ball. It's hard. It's makes the volley pop off your paddle a little bit. And there's 2 lead cord winners in this game so far.
30.
And that always reminds me of the great John Milbank line, right? You don't get lead cords if you lob.
That's right.
Do you think that Bostrom and Rams should be switching at the net so one of them is hitting the majority of the overheads? How do you feel about that?
I think so. I think Bostrom's overhead into Osis Koenig's screen is the better one out there, and he's can hit 3 or 4 or 5 different paces and spins. So I think he should be there at least for now. And I feel like Rams should just be at the net. He should be at the net looking for an opportunity to cut off a volley or maybe do something with a short ball.
Which he does exceptionally well.
Exactly. That's his comfort zone. So let him be creative at the net and let Bostrom hit the overheads.
It's interesting because of all the other top teams, obviously the righty-lefties switch automatically, but everybody else has a side they prefer to play. And an overhead person they prefer to hit the overheads. Uriah Parsons, Durant Mitchell, they all have a a designated overhead hitter.
Yep.
Yeah.
To me, that's how it seems to be unfolding, where the error is going to come from Boston and Rams. And I know whenever I played against somebody I felt was going to make errors, it's just like, okay, well, let's just be a little more patient because they're going to make mistakes. Why risk anything? One of the things I love about what Humphreys, Oskis-Koenig do is they miss fewer volleys, not because they volley better, but they're just very disciplined in which volleys they're going to hit. Reminds me a little bit of watching Goodspeed Manziger play. They weren't better volleys than anybody else. They just didn't try and make the volleys they couldn't make.
Yeah, and you know, it's amazing that you said that name. That's exactly what came across my mind, and it's very Drew Broderick-esque as well, right? Drew, you never see him lunge for a ball, so the more you stay in that zone, the better you are. Don't extend too far out of your zone and be in the right place at the right time.
And there's such a good digging team that they can afford to do that. They don't mind being in the backcourt. Now that may be a liability against Durant Mitchell or somebody of that ilk, not anybody else of that ilk, because his overhead is so good, he puts so much pressure on him. It's kind of the way the first set's gone for Bostrom Rams. Bostrom gets a let cord that pops straight up in the air. Oskis-Koenig gets 2 let cords that are outright winners. There's a good blitz from Rams, and that combination I like a lot, with Rams blitzing behind the Bostrom drive.
And you could tell Oskis-Koenig felt it in that moment. He saw it out of the corner of his eye.
Help! Yo.
Again, another just bad miss from Bostrom Rams. That's a great spot. Right up the left hip of the left-hander. See the difference in the lobs. I think that's the first ball we've seen either Humphreys or Oskis-Koenig take one step out of the service box, whereas Boston and Rams were out of the service box almost every ball. I think it's really important that Boston and Rams start winning some of these long points. They just seem to lose all the long points.
Did you say that? Yeah, they're just not quite on yet. I don't know if their match finished. That service deep. Their match finished only about 40 minutes ago, so it's feeling very much like they just either didn't have enough time to kind of regroup so far. They definitely look off.
Great get from Humphreys. He is as good as they come in the country, running down, making hit one more ball. And then Oskis-Koenig misses the let long.
Bostrom Rams. Humphreys, Oskis-Koenig leads the first set, 5-2.
Bostrom Rams benefited from, was it 2 or 3 faults that game from Oskis-Koenig?
Yeah.
But they've got to steady the ship and find their footing. It's just so hard when you're the team trying to make the play.
Yeah, I expect they will. It might be after the first set. It might not be before that, but I think a couple of good games to wrap up this set will give them a little bit more comfort in the second.
And I think that's
this
a great
game
point.
will
I
be
think
a
it's
big-
really important. Really important whether they win this set or not, just to start playing better. So there's the switch to go the other way.
Yeah, they're switching. So let's see if there's a strategy, a specific strategy for this switch. If Rams is going to hit overheads back to the deuce court more. Does hit it nicely, kind of in that slash to the deuce side. It's a effective overhead.
There you're Bostrom communicating, telling his partner that no one was coming.
15 love.
It's one of the first points we've seen a blurt out of Humphreys Koenig first.
Smooth.
He's
Very
just got to
smooth
find
shot.
the side. Yeah, he's just got to find the side wire with that serve, though. If it's that back wire
Yes.
first, that ball's just coming right back at him.
And he does that well, usually.
Great lobbing from Koenig.
Yeah.
I think it's a little bit of a lost art in today's game, Anthony.
You know, it feels like he's directing traffic out there. He's in control of these points, so I do think it is a little bit of a lost art on some people. You know, there are still a lot of people out there that understand the importance of a good lobbing game, but you can see in the last match that I'm not sure if you watched or not, Bostrom and Rams were in complete control at the net, and now I don't feel like they have that control. They're up, they're back, and Koenig is really determining what's happening on the other side of the net.
40-30.
Another point for 5-3. That ball's just too low to drive.
Yeah, too low. It's one of the few mental errors I've seen so far from that side of the court. They've been so patient in choosing their shots. That was a little too low. And they do say sometimes, Mark, that 5-2 is a jinx of a score.
115.
Swing and a miss from Humphreys there as he tries to serve out the first set. And all of a sudden, the errors are starting to come off of the Humphreys Koenig paddles. Again, a lot of short lobs. Under constant pressure back here. They're just not lobbing well enough.
Yeah, that you said it, Mark. At that point, it was inevitable. Each lob was shorter and shorter and shorter. And the way Humphreys can spin that ball and change direction with it so quickly, it just gets worse and worse. Great get.
Great get from Bostrom. Great transition from Humphreys Koenig.
Yep. 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 Go. Me.
Another great lob from Austin Koenig.
That was
Just
that
such
was
a noticeable difference.
It is. Right. Osix Koenig, he
30-15.
dictated the end of that point 4 strikes ago, right? So he did a great combination of shots.
I got it. Yep. Yep.
You got it!
Double lead cord. Do
Double.
30 off.
you have to apologize twice for that?
I think you should. He was right there for it. I think he was so surprised that took his eye off it a little. He bounces on the net.
You got it.
Well, bad miss there from Humphreys.
30-40.
And the Bostrom Rim lobs just are so short.
Yep. Yep.
There's a better one.
You got it.
Yep. Yep. Help. You got it. Yep. 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 I got it. Yep. Yep.
So Mark, have you figured out the advantage yet for Rams in the backhand court? I'm still ruminating
Nope.
that idea.
Yeah, I like Bostrom better the deuce normally because he's got the backhand in the middle. It's just such a tough shot. And I think it has to do with the Humphreys spin. That's what makes the most sense to me.
I think so. I think it makes sense as well. And I know Rams is the more creative player, and being creative in the backhand court can play in your favor.
And Austin Koenig misses one, and it's game Bostrom Rams, and they're back to 5-4 first set. It's been quite a turnaround.
At the very least, they're going to. I'm sorry.
Quite a turnaround.
Yeah, we know paddle. It's a game of momentum, and just when you think you have a set wrapped up, you get a little bit loose, which we saw. Just a few loose points, a few bad choices maybe, and they're right back in it. If not to tie it all at 5-all, to at least have plenty of momentum going into the second set.
And that's all it takes, just a couple of bad decisions. I mean, you're never in control. It's always an illusion. So
It's
Martin
very
Bostrom
true.
to serve, 4-5, first set. Looks like they switched balls. I thought they were switching after 7 games. Bostrom chose to take a practice serve there. That's great overhead there from Rams off with a short lob from Humphreys. A wild miss from Bostrom. That ball came way off the back wire and hit the side wire with his forehand. And follows with the
Follows
fault.
it up with the
15-30.
Just 2 gifts in a right there in a row. That was a conservative play by their Rams. I thought he was going to hit that ball. It's so ironic to me, Anthony, that in this new age of paddle with so much shot making, backhand drives, forehand drives, slashes, cuts, so much of the game still comes down to who lobs better.
Yes, I mean, when you talk about, is it a lost art? It's harder for the, I don't know, the lay person to see just how effective the lobbing is. And you can tell when it changes from defensive lobbing to offensive lobbing to shot-making lobbing. And you're absolutely right. The teams that end up lobbing best, they create the other opportunities that come behind it.
I mean, Boston Rams are just constantly in survival mode back here. They're short lobs, whereas you've seen Austin Koenig is just really controlled play, as you pointed out earlier, with his great lobbing. You give Chris Humphries enough of those looks, those short lobs, he's going to find a nick with that roller.
Yeah,
like that.
15-40.
He's having good success with that. Yeah, it's good success with just that hard shot and the hard flat overhead into the side screen. And that third.
Now there's a little bit of a blurt from Austin Koenig.
Yeah, I think he felt the score a little bit on that one. I think he just changed his mind at the last second. Very rarely is he indecisive.
See if Boston Rams switch back here. Boy, Rams does not look comfortable with all that spin, does he?
He does not. And just like you said earlier, Mark, you give Chris Humphries enough of those overheads, and it's not going to bode well. When you see him load his legs like that,
Got it. Got it.
Oh, Humphries with it. Oh, very questionable decision there, and that's being kind.
Yes, that is being kind, and it's two of the same types of shots. The first one was from his partner on the previous point, and then he followed up with a bad choice.
But there, Rams makes a really good decision getting out of the way of the ball. It allows Boston to play it easily off the back wire. That's a volley he missed earlier in the match. Anthony, when Bostrom jumps, do both those feet actually leave the ground?
It might be an optical illusion because he's so tall, it looks like he's up high, but you might be right. I'm not sure he's actually getting off the ground.
Oh, not happy with that missed overhead.
No.
You see in the upper left-hand corner of our screen, the other semifinalist starting. Defending national champion Spurs Sherdoya. Raya West.
Kind of trading bad decisions this game.
Yeah, I think that's an apt description. Boy, it was
Great.
Rams all over that drive. He was looking for it, stuck that back
Right.
volley right in the corner.
And that's kind of what we were talking about earlier. That's where I like him. Get him into that net and just look for that.
That's great transition volley by Rams.
Yeah.
Here you go.
Humphries looking for the blitz.
Ah, that's a
Great
shot.
rip there. Yeah, just that ball just exploded out of his corner. Set point number 4.
And Rams was a good step and a half back off the net.
It's like we've seen the whole set. It's nothing but offensive overheads. Humphries, Essex, Koenig. Boston Rams just survival mode again.
I got it. Go! Hey! Yo.
That's a great overhead. Like we said, you only can give him so many of those before he's going to make you pay for it. And there's the first set.
Okay, we'll be right back in a moment after these messages right here on the APTA YouTube channel presented by ENET Live.
High performance never tasted this good. Chocolate, berries, cinnamon, agave. Fuel your car, then fuel your body with Remedy Plus.
Okay, welcome back to the APTA Tour presented by Remedy Plus. We just finished the first set of this semifinal match between Boston Rams, Humphries, Essex, Koenig. Anthony, thoughts on the first set?
I'm still struggling with why they've switched sides over there. I think I saw a glimpse of it when Bostrom got a good look at that forehand. When Humphries is hitting that overhead cross court. When Humphries gets to hit that ball cross court, I think Bostrom can get a good look at it and strike the ball, but he's only seen 1 or 2 of those so far all set. So I'm not sure it's working as they planned as far as the strategy goes. And we'll see if they change anything. And like you said, Mark, the overheads, Humphries and Osis Koenig are dominating the overheads right now.
Yeah, Bostrom Rams just have to lob better. Okay, so Chris Humphries to start set number 2, and he's going to be serving to Martin Bostrom. So they're staying the same way.
Same way.
Bostrom serving from the due side. Big shout out to best player in the women's game, in my opinion, Anna Maria Zabori. They had a tough loss yesterday. Going to be the number 1 seeds going into nationals, and it's going to be tough to beat. Oh, dangerous swing there from Humphries.
Yeah.
I've done that, and the results have not been kind. And this is the way the match started, with some missed lobs from Bostrom and Rams. Rams can't believe he missed that one. Maybe Bostrom turning his hat around is going to be the key, Anthony.
Yeah, they need some kind of little jolt here. Oh, that's
Great
soft
drop
hands.
shot.
Great shot.
We've seen so little offense out of Rams in the ad court, to your point earlier.
Yeah.
Just doesn't seem to be doing much over there. From the deuce side, that forehand is such a weapon.
You hear it said a lot that coming off a lost first set, that the first couple of games in the second set are important, but I feel like the way Humphreys is playing right now, if Bostrom and Rams don't get off to a good start, they're just going to be more and more comfortable. It's going to be really hard to claw back.
Chip backhand missed wide. It's like a carbon copy of the first set, huh?
It is so far. A little sloppy in the first couple of games, first couple of points.
At this level, that's all it takes to lose a set.
15 love.
Humphreys felt a little guilty taking so many free points, so he donated one himself.
Such a good guy. Oh. Ossi's Koenig read Bostrom there like a book. It was definitely not in Swedish.
That's right. He moved before 3 steps. He was 3 steps in the court before that ball bounced.
When you hit somebody with that ball, you don't need to apologize because they deserve it.
Yeah.
Again, every lob is pushing Bostrom and Rams out of the box. And that was just a classic example where Ossie Koenig takes advantage, hits the ball at Bostrom's feet, he can't make the volley. And look where he is making contact with that ball.
Yeah.
Coming.
Humphreys looking for the blitz, which rightfully he should have. That lob had Rams way back in the court. I'm sure he was thinking about it. Again. There's a little bit of that confusion with the overheads.
But this has been just a tour de force lobbing exhibition from Ossie Koenig.
Yeah.
I mean, how many lobs did he hit that they had to let drop? 5, 6? Oh, now they're switching the other way. Interesting. So a little change in strategy there from Bostrom Rams. Let's see if they stay this way.
I got it.
It's a really interesting match, Anthony. They're obviously, the two teams are very close in terms of talent. They played a close match in Boston. But you feel like virtually every point, Humphreys, Ossie, and Koenig are in charge. They don't win the ball by any stretch.
Yes, it's been their match to, at this point, to win or lose. They're directing the pace of each point. Bostrom
That's
and Rams
really
are definitely
unusual
being
at this level.
more reactive. It is. It is.
Just misses that one.
30 off.
Well, that.
Now, do you think Bostrom and Rams are aware of that, Anthony, or you think that they're just playing and they don't get it?
Well, I think they feel it.
What would you do in a match if you felt that?
It's hard. It's hard to force a change of what's happening on the court. When you start thinking too much about it, it becomes harder and harder.
But yet, if they don't change it, they're unlikely to win the match, right?
Right. Right.
I mean, it's like I feel like we played that point 4 times. Great lob from Austin Koenig, takes over the net. Short lob from Bostrom. Austin Koenig finds the nick.
Game. Humphreys versus Koenig. Humphreys versus Koenig leads the second set, 2-0. Gail. I got it.
Hey, Anthony, one
Switching
last
sides,
shout out
so,
to George Wilkinson's family. George died a year ago yesterday in that tragic accident. Just a big shout out to his family back in England and all of his friends around the country, the world.
It's missed.
Oh, just can't afford to miss overheads like that. That was just a easy reset overhead.
And I think that's exactly to your point. Is they're trying to think of a way to just change the momentum up, and it's not easy to do.
Yep.
You notice they did switch sides in that last point, so I think they're considering changing.
Good. 30 love.
So there, Humphreys is bailing out. He sees Bostrom got the high forehand, and he still misses it. Humphreys has done a tremendous job at the net of kind of nullifying the returns of Bostrom Rams.
Humphreys' net play today has been spectacular. I don't think it can be understated. It's just he's hitting perfect overheads. He's where he needs to be almost every single time. That was perfectly crafted
like that
point. It was the right job.
Yeah, it's exactly what I was going to say. I love the play. He had them way off the net, just misses the forehand.
Yep.
You see how little movement there is in Humphreys when Austin Koenig's hitting the overheads, which is the opposite of what we've seen from Bostrom and Rams.
40-15. I'll be this side.
Exactly what you said last point. Humphreys completely neutralized Bostrom's drive there.
3-0.
And Rams was trying to cheat in and ended up getting beaten.
First set was won by Humphreys versus Koenig.
The two sets
Well,
continue to be carbon copies.
Yeah, I would say being down 3-love in this set is exactly what they wouldn't want to see happen.
Okay, Bostrom to serve to Chris Humphreys. So Bostrom is counting games, and he got all the way to 13, realizing that math is not his strong suit, but switching balls on the next game.
The next game. I know you were at Short Hills with me last couple weeks ago, Mark, and I don't know if you're noticing it, but I certainly am noticing that Ossis Koenig is just seems so much more comfortable this tournament. He looks really comfortable and confident, and he's making great choices. He's peaking at the right time, but he does look significantly better than he did in Short Hills.
Yeah, I thought he looked pretty good at Short Hills in the quarters and the semis. Not so much in the early rounds or the finals, but definitely noticeable difference. I agree.
Right. That's actually a good point. It was he struggled a little early, and then he struggled late. He buckled down a little bit in the middle.
They had a great win over Ryan Parsons, 6-4 in the third. The match they were down 4-2. I think half of Short Hills was out watching that in the back court.
At this level, Mark, you need to have a very complementary partner. And I don't think I've seen two guys play more complementary than these two, than Humphreys, Ossis, Koenig. They look so, like you said earlier, you know, Humphreys didn't even move on those overheads. He knows where he needs to be. They look like they're playing better than the sum of their parts. They know what each other is going to do. And you know, they know when one's going to drive and one's going to support, and vice versa.
And when you say complementary, you're talking both in the physical and the emotional sense.
Sure.
You know, we talked a little bit off air, Anthony, about the difference between the alpha and the beta, the support guy. And while Humphreys is clearly the captain of the team, I think he's more the support player. I don't see that Rams has really gotten comfortable out there not being the alpha. We haven't seen any of the dynamic play we've come to expect from him. But yet he hasn't also been setting up Bostrom.
Right, and that's actually that was going to be what I was going to ask you. Is like, who is? Have they actually decided who is going to be the alpha? Is it still looming? Right, it's not. Rams doesn't look like he's setting up Bostrom, and he doesn't look like he's taking control of the match from you know, from that dynamic offense position as well. So it looks like they're still figuring it out.
They better figure it out soon. Wow, a miss from Humphreys. We haven't seen too many of those. That ball was flying.
It was.
And then they switch to get the Rams overhead in the middle again, which is the opposite way we think they should be playing. Ossex Koenig has to get more lead cords than everyone else in the country combined. That's got to be his 6th or 7th in a set and a half.
That just shows you how precise his drive is. He's been hitting it so well. It's right at the top of that net. And yeah, to your point, I don't know. I don't like Rams hitting the ball right where he just hit it there is not what I would want. So I think Martin hits a better shot in the middle of the court. But
okay, new ball. Humphries to serve. 3-1, second set. A great lob for Rams. That ball just ate him up.
Yeah, he fought that off well. That was a tough spin. That's a great short backswing backhand.
And that's where he tends to push it a little too fast, right? He's deep in the court. It's not that high a ball.
He's building the right point, and you're right. That one was, he hit 3 or 4 great drives. That one, it only looks bad when you miss that one, though, because he's made 30 of those, right?
Yep. Great volley.
30-15.
Pulled a little bit of a rabbit out of his hat, but he was there.
On the forehand, no less.
On the forehand.
Mariah West up 2-1 first set.
30 off. 30 off. Stop.
Humphries is so good in transition. He's so disciplined. So rarely see him trying to make a volley backing off the net. He's either volleying or he's bailing.
Right, he recognized that one early and decided not even to put his nose in there, which was a smart decision.
It wasn't his nose I was worried about on that one, is it? So he jumped up in the air and let it go through the 5-hole.
Right.
The Ossex Koenig backhand is so simple, isn't it? It's just like back and through.
It is.
Like, what could go wrong with that shot?
It's beautiful.
Okay. 3
And
consecutive
Humphries
points
was
here.
a little too deep for that drive.
Switch in the backcourt again. Misses that one. Ossex Koenig, one of the things he does exceptionally well is volleys the forehand side, which you really need to do playing for left.
Koenig leads the second set, 3-2.
A proud partner to the
Humphries
APTA. Fusion curates what's next in branded gear and apparel for your company, your team, or your event. With a team of dedicated industry experts, Fusion curates high-end product selections for customization with your club logo, team name, or corporate identity. We create a stress-free shopping experience with custom online stores and quick custom ordering to get the gear you need now without any hassle. Visit gearbyfusion.com and let Fusion provide you with the gear to fuel your brand.
Okay, so here we go. Philippe Rams to serve. 3-2, second set. It's like the first set, they're climbing back in from the hole they were in. Humphrey moving his overheads around, side wire, back wire. Just really pushing him.
Help.
Great read there from Ossius Koenig. We saw Rams do that to him in the first set. And there, Ossius Koenig picks it off beautifully.
Nice.
Ossius Koenig was blitzing that down up overhead again.
You said it before, Mark, but the level of discipline that Humphreys is playing with is really, I mean, he's got so much offense and so much ability to do so much with the ball. For him to play at, I don't know if it's just at this maturity level, it's really amazing.
No mistakes coming. 130.
He just continues to set up and set up and set up so that Ossius Koenig can do his thing over there.
And that's the type of volley we've seen Humphreys, Ossius Koenig miss so little, because when they hit a bad overhead, they bail.
Yep.
Come on.
Great get from Humphreys.
Up with it. Yes. 40.
Great setup.
First time we've seen any confusion between Humphreys and Ossius Koenig at all.
Game. Humphreys Ossius Koenig. Humphreys Ossius Koenig leads the second set 4-2.
To have such a good game at that moment is a huge plus for Humphreys Ossius Koenig right now. They're having a win a 3-2 game at Love.
Well, that looked like it was wide, didn't it?
It did look wide. I don't think either of them were able to get a good look at it. Yeah, exactly. Humphreys did a little sidestep just to get out of the way.
I mean, that sequence there was just so beautiful from Ossius Koenig. Pushes Bostrom back, catches him in transition. It's a short volley. Humphreys takes advantage. Rams misses the volley. Great spot there. Oh, wow, Bostrom gets away with that one, but again, Ossius Koenig
did get away with it.
Perfect position.
I'm here.
He's had 4 or 5 of those opportunities. I think that's the first one he missed.
There's a big forehand from Rams, one of the few we've seen all match.
And Bostrom staring him in the face at the same time. Yep.
Yep. And this is the game that Humphreys Ossius Koenig have struggled with, is the Ossius Koenig serve.
Bostrom
Well, I think
Rams.
Rams made a real mistake following that ball in, but got away with
Second
it.
set, 4-3. Humphreys Osis Koenig
After
won
such
the
a
first
good
set.
game at 3-2, a little blip there. They might have started thinking about the finish line a little bit. It happens.
Raya West in a long game, still up 2-1, first set. Big shout out to Carl Levenut, director at CCD. Macy Medeiros, mentor. Huge game right here, Anthony.
Huge.
That's just been the story of the match. Just too many careless errors from Bostrom Rams. I mean, that's the ball he makes 99 times out of 100. No pressure at all there. Oh, great digging. They got the ball they wanted. Just hit the top of the tape and didn't go over.
Yeah, I think Osis Koenig was just a tad surprised that he was going to get it right there. It looked like he wasn't quite leaning in at it, but that's his shot. Great patience, great lobs, smart point.
And those are the points you have to play. That's what you have to be willing to do at this level. Bunch of short lobs this point from Humphreys Osis Koenig. There's a better one.
Correct that. Yeah, I think they'll get into a bad little turn there. This is the point we'd expect right now at 30-15. Very cautious. High percentage shots.
Another great lob from Oscar Koenig.
Yeah.
I got it. Yep. Yeah, I got it. Yep. I got it.
See if Humphries gets an opportunity to really choose some overheads. Being conservative right now.
Yep.
It's that sequence of lobs that's so effective. One good lob didn't do it. And there you saw them hit a really good lob. They pushed Humphries back, but the next lob was real short. Austin told he was going to be able to reestablish it.
Yo. Yo. Up.
Such a short lob, he felt like he had to do something with it, but a little too
took
hard.
a crack at the nick. Didn't work out. Bailed out. Good look there, just misses it.
Yeah.
That's his bread and butter.
Probably the longest point of the match. Oh, he stuck his paddle where he shouldn't, and he got away with it.
Had no business coming to net behind that ball. Had no business reaching for that volley.
He made 3 mistakes.
Sheer
and still
talent
won the
bails him
point.
out.
Yep.
That's talent, right?
You got it!
Bostrom's putting his hand in the bear cage. He's going to get bitten.
Yeah. Another one of those lobs you said. Yeah. Mark is
amazing.
He's done it over and over again.
Touch him.
I guess that hit his paddle.
It did.
So it hit Austin Koenig paddle and then went out. Bostrom never afraid to pull the trigger. Oh, great dig by Rams.
Yeah.
Off another lead court from Austin Koenig.
Get the sense that Ossis Koenig was looking to end a point here.
I got it. All you. All you. You. Yep. Yep. Okay.
I like that one, Mark. Yeah, it was a little too deep. It didn't come out quite enough. It stuck to the side wire.
Yep, I agree.
Yep.
They're both blitzing there.
Double creep.
Well, a little bit of a blurt there from Humphreys Austin Koenig. A bad decision, missed lob wide, and we're back to 4-all.
4 games apiece.
That's the exact game that Bostrom and Rams needed right there. A long, grinding game. They got it. They got a few mistakes. 4-all.
Good.
You got it.
3-2 Araya West on the next court.
They must be having some tremendously long points there to be still at 3-2.
Araya's healthy for about the first time all year. Really feeling good about his battle. Which could be just a lack of judgment. Great backhand for Bostrom there. Such a testimony to how talented this team is, Anthony. The Bostrom Rams still like really trying to find their way. Who's the alpha? Who's doing what? Who's playing the backhand? And here they are, 4 in the second set with one of the top 4 teams in the country.
Of course. You feel it even in the last couple of points. You just feel like the balance is it's tilted. I don't want to say necessarily in Bostrom's Rams direction, but it feels even. It feels like they're grinding out every point with the same chance of winning it, whereas it felt like Humphreys and Ossis Koenig were just in control of everything else up until a few games, a few points ago.
Although all the offense is coming from Bostrom right now. I just don't think Rams has figured out how to play a match in which he's not the best player on his side of the court.
I got it.
A problem I wish I had.
Yeah. Well, it's real, right? It's real when you're used to just doing, being that person that goes full out and your partner's going to support you. Your decision-making process is completely different.
I got it.
That's a great overhead. Great scramble. This is a potential quarterfinal matchup at Nationals in 2 weeks in Chicago.
For sure.
Great ball there from Humphreys. Because this is a top 4 seed with a second 4 seed. Oh, what a backhand from Bostrom. That was a tough ball. That was a pretty good sequence of lobs there from Bostrom Rams.
Yeah.
Never had the right shot to pull the trigger, and I think they made the right decision. Oh, great volley.
But that's the sequence we want to see. I think that Bostrom and Rams want to see.
100%. The Bostrom drive and the Rams blitz.
Absolutely. Trying to clean up whatever happens after that great drive.
Me. 15-30.
And there, Humphreys pulls the trigger from too deep in the court. Bostrom Rams are in great position right on top. The net. Here comes the switch in the backcourt. Now this has been a great move from Bostrom Rams. Bostrom has generated a lot more offense with the forehand than did the backhand.
Yeah, it's easy for us to say it here, but I do like this look better. It just, I think it answers the question of the alpha. I think Martin needs to be the alpha right now and get more looks in that corner. And I think Rams just needs to be on the lookout to clean up some short volleys.
Dangerous move there from Rams, but get the error from Humphreys.
40.
A couple of points to serve for the second set.
No. You got it.
Humphreys didn't believe his lob was going in. Yeah, slow to the net.
Rams leads the second set.
Bostrom has really turned this match around.
Humphreys
He has.
Koenig won the first set.
Generate a lot of offense, a lot of balls through them, caused a bunch of volley errors, and he'll serve for the second set.
Yeah, you could see a switch went off. He decided that he was going to step up, be a little bit more aggressive, start making things happen, and tip the scales.
So what do you think, Anthony? Break or hold?
5-4.
I think we're going to go to a third set.
Okay, I'm with you. John Scott, our producer, also thinks it's going to be a hold, which is bad news because John's like 0 for 1,000 on all his calls.
That's a great backhand from Humphreys. Take the net.
Speaking of great backhands. So now Humphreys is switching to play the ad side. They did this in the finals of Short Hills. Humphreys started over there. Really negated his return to serve. From here you have to stop playing the middle and start playing the wings. 4-3 Burish or Doya, first set. And you've seen the adjustment. Fewer reset overheads in the middle. Playing a lot more balls to the sides. Are Bostrom and Rams. And Humphreys will take that high ball and slap it down on the forehand side. I wonder if that was a tired miss. Just wasn't in position to hit that
look,
ball.
Yeah, it looked a little bit like he just got tired at that point.
No, Marshall. 130.
Yeah, just can't afford to be hitting forehand volleys from 2 feet behind the service line. Both teams switching. It's interesting given how well Austin Koenig has played from the backhand side.
Yes.
Not sure what
Yeah,
the
I was
purpose
just
of the switch
thinking.
is here.
Yeah, I think it's just for a different look. It's just to make them think a little differently. Because I agree with you. I was saying the same thing. Austin Koenig's is playing that backhand side so well, but you noticed it. You mentioned it. They're hitting to the wings instead of in the middle of the court. So anything that gets them just to think a little differently is not bad. They're both comfortable and confident enough that they know they're going to be fine on either side. It's a smart move.
It's a low ball. Bostrom chooses to drive, and they're love 40. Both teams switching again.
Yeah. You go.
Just
Right.
can't
We
afford
might
to
be
do
going.
that.
We might be going to a third set, but not here, not yet.
5
Let's see.
games apiece in the second set.
And John Scott continues his run. Congratulations, John. It's your 1,127th incorrect prediction in a row.
No.
See some misses kind of creeping into the Bostrom game. See Rams kind of stretching out his calf there a little bit in the middle of the point. He's had some issues with cramping in the past.
I wonder if is that the reason they switched sides.
But then they wouldn't be letting him hit all the overheads if that was the case.
Yeah.
Switching at the net,
Yeah,
too.
you're right. He's hitting over it.
30 love.
Another missed lob from Rams. Oh, great volley. Couple of chicken wing volleys.
Oh, great dig.
Oh, spectacular.
Touche.
And that's the Rams we want to
Touche.
see, right? We haven't seen that
It
from
is.
the Rams tonight. So dynamic.
You.
You think they're looking for anything specific with this look, Mark? You think they would wait, you know, seeing something where Humphreys can get a jump on that side screen? Is it
30 all?
Or is it just for the look?
I think it's just for the look. There he beats Humphreys on the side wire. You see Rams really energized from that slash winner he had. Came back with a big forehand and followed up with another overhead winner.
Good ball. 40, 30.
See, that's where you just got to be so disciplined when you're coming forward. That ball comes way off the back wire. Just can't afford to come forward on that ball. And if you do, you got to let it through.
It's amazing how often even the best players make that mistake. You just feel like you've hit such a good shot and you get it through that you need to take the net, and you really have to be cautious, like you said, to take that net too early. You're volleying from the service line. It's going to go out.
Game. Humphreys versus Koenig.
Yeah, I think that was one of the real evolutions of the game. I think led by none other than New Jersey's Dave Omoler. Let the ball go through and then intentionally got you into transition that way. Previously, you were at the net or you were the backcourt. They were the two ways to play.
Right? Yeah.
Now it's a little bit different.
You're right. I think he was the first one to, you know, to bait you into thinking you made a winner and then make you pay for it.
Okay, so Bostrom will serve to stay in the match. A couple of practice serves with the new ball.
Another new ball.
21 games. I'd ask John Scott what he thought was going to happen here, but I don't want to ruin it for our viewers.
Oh, it caught the sideline. I thought it was going wide.
Yeah, I couldn't tell how much of the sideline it caught. Bostrom was just such a gentleman on those lines.
I got it. Yep. Yo. I got it. Yep.
Reminded everybody the men's final will be 9:30 tomorrow morning.
Yep.
Great lob there for the Rams.
Trading sideline lobs.
Five for Burr-Shurdoya. That's smart play by Austin Koenig to get out of there. Wasn't in good position, got out of the way.
I don't want to state the obvious here, Mark, but a very, very conservative paddle. I think everyone clearly understands how important these next couple of points are. No big overheads. No risky drives.
Isn't that always
See
the
who
case,
cracks
Anthony? As you
first.
get deeper and deeper. Great forehand there from Humphreys. As you get deeper and deeper in the match, everybody plays a little more conservatively.
And that was the very, very high percentage drive. Short ball, sat up over the net.
5-all. Burr-Shurdoya, Mariah West. A little confusion there. Great lob from Humphreys.
Yep.
I got it. Yo. 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 I got it. Yo.
You got it.
Yo.
15 all.
Smart shot.
Hey, let's go.
Both teams resigned to hitting the high percentage balls. Both made great choices.
Not sure Humphrey's choice to come forward on that ball was a great one.
Yeah.
But he got away with it. Wow.
30,
that was a surprising miss there. Looks like he got his paddle stuck under the beam.
Yeah.
Interesting to find out from Humphreys, Austin Koenig why they were switching in the backcourt.
30 all.
Oh, their Rams
that went
watching
wide.
this, so they're 2 points from the match.
Yeah, I'm with you on that, Mark. I'll write that one down and ask them. I think it is just for the look. I don't, I asked you the question, but I don't think they're looking for any specific ball or shot that they identified as being better for Chris to hit on that other side. But they really haven't changed the strategy.
And another lead court from Austin Koenig. And there you saw Humphreys stay back. Knew that ball was too hot to come in behind. Was able to clean up behind his partner. That's that high ball that'll hit the forehand on. Look for Bostrom to switch to the backcourt here. And over on that side for longer than you would have thought. That would have been a perfect ball to switch on.
Doesn't look like they're going to switch.
No. They forgot because they've switched every other point in the entire set.
Another lead cord from Mrs. Koenig.
And Humphrey catches the nick, and it's match point.
30-40.
It's a good thing we had
John
that ball
Mubel's
out
getting
there.
the ball.
John's on the disabled list. He could not come down to Philly and chase the balls down for us, so he sent his daughter Katie. Fans are booing that pathetic attempt to throw the ball back in the cage. Okay, match point, number one. Humphreys, Austin Koenig. Great blitz from Austin Koenig. Rams does a good job of not getting hit.
I got it. Watch. Yeah. Yep. Ah. I got it.
There you saw Humphreys bailing and Austin Koenig closing, and that's exactly how you should do it.
Yes.
And there it is, game, set, match. Humphreys, Austin Koenig, 6-4, 7-5. Closing thoughts, Anthony?
7-5.
I don't know. They just Bostrom and Bostrom and Rams just couldn't quite turn it. They had a flash where they gained some momentum and started playing a little bit more aggressive, but just as quickly they contracted again, and Rams and Humphreys and Osas Koenig stayed strong the whole time. What do you think?
I think that they've got to find a role for Philippe Rams. As we talked earlier, he's such a dynamic player, and I kind of get the feeling that he's, I don't want to say floating through the match, but I don't think he really has figured out what he's supposed to be doing out there. We saw very few of his dynamic blitzes. We saw one big cut overhead winner. Things we normally see lots of from him, we saw nothing of today.
Yeah, and I don't think we saw the strength of either player come through because of the way they were playing. You know, Bostrom didn't get all the looks that he usually gets, and just like you said, I think Rams didn't see the looks that he wanted. So it was just that little bit of a nuance. Great match.
Okay, everybody, we'll be back tomorrow morning at 9:30 right here on the APTA YouTube channel presented by eNet Live.